I haven't had worries about, you being successful.
It's very expensive to start a dental practice. Guess what? It didn't work out.
But there was still something missing.
We're missing half a wall. A couple break-ins have occurred over here.
There was no identity, no name to it. It was just a soulless.
COVID happened. Everything got expensive.
VIP list that people are signing up to. You have about zero.
Yeah, I purposely did all this. I don't want people to think that we have expensive equipment here. You cannot do this alone. If you think you can, I could talk about this for 20 minutes. There was a fire right outside. There was broken glass. And it's just it's a hard thing to do because you need soundproof doors. Get ready for things not to work. We have security, we have a lot of surveillance. It's impossible to make this plan go perfectly. They told me that the highest crime rate in Portugal is when you're opening up.
Can I have the bottle? Thank you. We need to celebrate this properly. How long does it take to launch a dental clinic? What are the essential steps? And how much does it all cost? What's up, man? Okay. In the next few minutes, me and Dr. Anwar are going to answer all of these questions as we've just launched Kanopi Kids. Our process begins with nothing more than Dr. Anwar's favorite color. The calming, welcoming spirit of green shaped everything, from the name and brand identity to the interior design and even our Chief Comfort Officer, Kai. But the journey wasn't easy. The office was broken into twice, equipment was set on fire, costs soared, and for a moment, it seemed like all outdoor signage would miss the major shoot and grand opening. But as you'll soon see, the signs made it just in time, and we turned it all around. You're watching Dental Success Blueprints by Hudak. How does it feel to see all of this in real life after all that hard work?
Yeah, I'm just really happy for this all to come to fruition because it was a lot of hard work, a lot of adversity we had to go through just to get this going, even just for the photo shoot, for example. But the great news is we're about to open our doors very soon, and I'd love to give you a tour and we could dive deep into exactly what the problems were, the finances, everything. I'd love to show you around.
Welcome to Kanopi Kids, everyone. Dr. Anwar, thank you for having us.
Of course.
So there's one more person that we need to introduce, and it's this guy right here. Who is he?
So this is Kai right here. Let me hold him real quick and show him to everyone. So Kai is our Chief Comfort Officer. Kai is gonna bring comfort and ease. And the big thing about this Kanopi Kids mantra was the fact that we wanted our office to be green, peace, tranquility, and on top of that, just make it an easy-going office, a family-friendly office. So that was our goal. And of course, he has a nice, bigger version right over here.
Big brother.
You want to show that to us, Michael?
Yes, sir.
If you're going to pick him up.
We just took pictures with him today and videos as well. So Kai is one part of what makes kids comfortable here. What else are we seeing here? What else have you thought about?
No one wants to be in the dental office, especially the kids. I want to kind of change that perspective. I feel like Kai, it starts off with Kai, and then now we have like a nice grass wall, nature.
So this thing is something that kids ran to as the first thing they saw during the shoot today. Mm-hmm. What is this?
Yeah, so we have our little alligator friend over here. When I first saw him, I wanted to play with him too, honestly. There's just so much going on.
And then I see a special poster over there.
Yeah, so it was a big deal for me that our office donates to a charity. It meant a lot to me to just be able to do my part to help out as well.
So me and my team have been working on this for 8 months since you told me about Kanopi for the first time, but it's been a part of your life for much longer.
Yes, sir.
So as we walk through the clinic, can you talk about the process? We're still seeing some construction, but in terms of steps, like what was first done physically in the space and then what followed after that as we walk through it?
Yeah. Luckily, I'm very happy to have you in the beginning of the process. I know we're discussing names and everything else. Finding the location was pretty hard to do. Mm-hmm. A lot of different areas we could have chosen, different cities, different areas within this city. So we were able to find a brand new building right next to a Subway empty building that's never been worked on before. And on top of that, it took a very long time to just do the framing and the plumbing. So it didn't look like an office probably until like 2 months ago.
Was that the first thing you started with?
Yeah.
Framing,
so the framing, yeah. So we have, between all these, we have like some nice metal frames. I know a lot of homes out here are built out of wood, but these are all framed with metal. Then we did electricity. We did plumbing at the same time. And once all that was done, we were able to add walls, which made it look like my dream was coming true. Because when it's just framing, there's not much really going on. You're just what room
Just
is this?
empty here space.
Yeah, and then we're still working on things, as you can see from that you just pointed out. We're still gonna do some painting, some patchwork. We're still installing computers. A lot of work needs to be done, but we're almost at the finish line. It's been a long few months, a lot of different issues to get to this point, but just grateful for it.
And there is a treatment room ready as well. What is this area actually?
So this entire area subsidy is called the Ortho Base. So as you can tell, we're still putting things up. We're still adding the wiring. So we're going to have 4 operatories here. We only have 1 currently equipped because the best way to start from all the financial course I've taken is always spend the money in marketing, get the patients going, and then from that, we start adding in more and more chairs.
So the next space that's still empty, is that something you're thirsty for in the future maybe?
Yeah, so I definitely want to keep growing. I wanted to show you how nice one of our rooms can be. So I've been used to this type of equipment once before. This is actually the top of the line equipment. It's very comfortable for the kids. It's very durable. They have 30-year warranties. They were able to help me out with startups. And like as you mentioned, I want to be high tech as much as possible. You can tell I even have my intra-roll camera over here just to show kids like what's going on. We have nitrous for ease and comfort for the kids. And the reason this layout is the way we did it like this is I wanted it to be nice and safe for the kids as well. So for example, they won't be seeing any instruments. There is fear of the dentist. I've also made the lighting into the ceiling to help the kids. I have also installed the TV so they could watch their TVs or shows.
And green, a lot of green.
A lot of green, still a little bit of work. We don't even have the doors up yet. That's a very important thing for pediatrics because you need soundproof doors. If one kid for some reason is scared of dentists, we don't want them to scare everyone else. We're missing half a wall. Unfortunately, a couple break-ins have occurred over here.
So they broke in through the other space.
Most time it's hard to convince people to come into the dental office, but it's the other way around apparently.
They can't wait for you to open.
They wanted to take a sneak peek, so no, we got the videos now. No need to break in anymore. Schedule an appointment at KanopiKids.com. This was actually the room I wanted to originally equip over here. The only problem with here is that, as you can tell from this chaos over here, I purposely did all this. I don't want people to think that we have expensive equipment here. There was a fire right outside. There was broken glass.
I remember waking up to those messages and seeing the photos of porta potty burning down.
Yes, so as you can tell, I put the porta potty a little bit further away from my location. Don't want to take any risks, but we have security, we have a lot of surveillance, and most importantly, I feel like they told me that the highest crime rate in Portugal is when you're opening up, and I think we're past that now.
Okay.
Ready?
Sir. We already saw how beautiful the clinic is, but I want to share more insights about the whole journey, specific steps we took, and how we got here. The first one being the business model. So I know you have passion for treating kids, but what led to your decision to open a pediatric clinic in orthodontics for that specific niche? What was the journey there?
Yeah, that's a wonderful question, Michael. So you're helping us out at another clinic, Mountain Bay Dental. I feel like that all played a role into kind of where I am. Because if you ask me what procedures can I do, I can pretty much tell you a lot of different things, right? Even the complicated ones, implants, sedation, which is very rare, a lot of different aspects. But as time progressed, ironically, I'm focusing on the specialty I never imagined I'd actually focus on, which is kids, because it's a high risk, high reward, but I feel like I have a calm demeanor. I feel like I could be really good with the kids.
And I saw you doing a great job with them today.
Thank you.
Could you speak more about Medi-Cal or Dentical and how that's part of the business model and how it differs from not accepting it?
I've actually worked at a Medi-Cal office before. I've been a dental assistant there. My distant relative takes Medi-Cal in a city called Fremont where I grew up. So I worked with them and I've seen firsthand like how you can make such a big difference, because a lot of people don't want to take that, especially for the kids.
We have people coming in as we're shooting asking if you're already open.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. I've never experienced that before.
I feel like this is the time for us to sit back and kind of enjoy celebrate, enjoy the hard work that's paid off.
So right after this business model was set, there was no identity, no name to it. It was just a soulless business plan. The only thing that we had was the starting point, which is this color right here, green, which is your favorite color. And we started with that, and we saw that there was no green amongst competition, and green is also very lively and tranquil. That's what you called it, very, related to nature. I have some other naming options that we explored related to green. That was the starting point. Do you remember some of these? Hello Dental, Dreamy Dental, Innocent. Each of them had their own reasoning, but at the end we decided to go for Kanopi Kids. You can speak more about what it means and why we decided to go for that.
Yeah, I'd love to. I love the fact that we both collaborated a lot. There was a lot of input on your end as well, because last time we worked, we kind of already had an office name, and we just changed the color scheme. So this time we wanted to work with green, like you mentioned. So we were thinking about trees, nature, and then you actually brought it up. You're like, what about a canopy for a forest? Like, that's actually a great idea. And then so that took a little bit of back and forth and just figuring things out. And then from there, I think it took even longer to figure out the spelling for it, because a lot of people...
C-K-Y.
Yeah, because as you could tell, we could have done it the traditional way, which is what I actually wanted to do. C-A-N-O-P-Y, kids, but there's a play to the words with the K and the I with the kids, first two letters in kids. So that's kind of where that came across. And then we got the Moss logo, and then I love how the fact that we have the A kind of emphasized for the Kanopi Kids as well. And then it actually works out because my last name is Anwar, and we're in the city of Antioch, that starts with A. So I love how the fact that we're very original with this as well. I really want to emphasize that. Like, this is very unique with everyone else I've discussed as well.
So with the name, as you mentioned, we created the logo. We also tried to make it playful and wild with the N and with the A being more like jungle vines or branches, just to have it more playful. But after we had the colors, we had the name, we had the logo, there was still something missing. We needed a companion, we needed a chief comfort officer, and so we created Kai.
I don't remember how many email threads and messages you went through to kind of get this going, but it was a lot of work. I'm just really happy with the result. Everyone that's seen our little buddy over here has really loved them. I love the fact that we have almost a life-size version that the kids can all hug and play with. And yeah, we can dive deep into the different versions of Kai to get through this.
It was a lot of pain. It took 5 months, and there must have been at least 100 alternations, and I didn't let them off the hook. I wanted the eyes perfect. I wanted the hands perfect. He needed to have 4 fingers instead of 5, so that he's a little different than a human. He needed to have the right type of eyes. I have a couple of alternatives, or like the versions that we went through. I don't know if you remember all of these.
I remember them.
We were deciding between the eyes at the beginning.
The eyes, the face, the hands. I wish we kept track of how many messages it took back and forth.
How many?
Just with the AI group that helped design this, because we wanted to do something very original. We don't want to take someone else's. The whole point of doing this is the fact that we've been original and different, and I'm glad that we were able to do that with Kai as well.
Agreed.
Yeah, so
different colors. So at the end, when we had the whole 3D thing, it was the first time that I saw him from the side, and I could see that his head is like a pancake. So we had to start from scratch. I don't know if you even knew.
I lost track.
And this was the final, and then the toy came in. Getting the eyes right, the head shape right. It was a lot of work. What was that experience of creating the brand, making Kai a living thing? What was that like for you? What was it like seeing, this and then this becoming digital on our website?
Yeah.
What was it like?
Like you mentioned, all hard work pays off. I feel like the reason we really love to talk about Kai, enjoy Kai, is the fact that it took a lot of work to get there. This thing about 5 months. Usually some people buy an office, get it going, all that stuff within 3 months.
Yep.
5 months
Just for
on our little buddy, but I feel like it's all gonna pay off because I don't know anyone else in this entire nation, and I try to be in touch with a lot of people that has done something like along the lines of having Kai and just like a unique character for the dental office.
So with the business model in place and the
Yeah.
brand in place, construction began. This sequence of, you actually mentioned that some people just start up right away and they don't have enough time. And with us having enough time, we were able to incorporate the logo inside and make Kai possible, bring the chairs, have all the posters done. So it actually allowed us to incorporate the brand within the construction. So you told me about Kanopi 8 months ago for the first time. When did you decide that this was the location? What was the year or how long ago was that?
I think that was 8 months ago, roughly.
Okay.
Yeah, so I pretty much I actually had you in mind, and then I found the location.
Okay.
So if anything, it's probably 7.5 months ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so we should have been done with construction. A lot of hurdles have happened, like
So
we
that's
discussed
how long
earlier.
the construction took 7.5, 8 months.
Sometimes it takes only 3 to 4 months.
Okay.
Yeah,
But this is premium, like it takes 3 months if it's just done.
yeah, it's a bigger location as well. I
Yeah.
didn't want us to be pigeonholed. The best part of this location is I can actually expand to the other side.
Mhm.
I can one day open up maybe 5 more operatories, and we
Sounds
don't
like
need
a
to.
plan.
We don't need to go to move and go somewhere else either. So, really happy with how everything worked out. And I feel like everything happens for a reason. I'm very fortunate to have the people that kind of got myself in this position. I was gonna say us, but you're probably one of the people that helped put me in this position to just say I'm helping run Kanopi Kids.
But now the question that everybody has been waiting for, I wanted to give something valuable to other people when they're opening their own office. And the question is, how much does it all cost? How much does it cost to launch a dental clinic?
Yeah.
You can share some key figures. You don't have to go into specifics, but leasing the space, construction, buying the equipment. What is the summary there? If you could give us some rough figures there.
Yeah, no, I don't mind. So when I started the first look at practice loans, we're looking at $500,000.
Mm-hmm.
COVID happened, everything got expensive. So 500,000 is now 700,000, and 700,000 actually doesn't do the job fully. So
For the construction or everything? Altogether?
everything included, yeah. So $750,000 was actually my loan amount that I got through a very popular bank in the dental industry. Key figure, and yeah, I pretty much use all of that. So it's very expensive to start a dental practice. It takes a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of capital to get going. So that's where that happens. In terms of lease, it's very diverse, right? So we have a location in a very popular city. It's a bigger building on a popular intersection. So that rent is probably double. It's actually double the amount here. Versus this city is more. They're still growing, so it's a little bit less than like more popular Bay Area cities. And I know you work me in Los Gatos. That's not so bad. The rent here is actually a little bit more, only because we're a bigger space. Los Gatos about 1,800 square feet. We're 2,500, and then in turn, I have tried to get more tenant improvement. So there's a lot of factors that go into play. The big thing being your lease monthly amount, your tenant
For like a year,
improvement.
or is there like a long-term lease? Long-term.
It's 5 years with 5 years with 3 5-year options. So technically, I can be here for 15 years. I'm the boss of that, with certain escalators every year, and then the numbers. So,
Would you mind sharing how much that is for the 5-year or monthly?
yeah, it's a little bit more on the higher side over here because I was able to get more tenant improvement, which is another factor. So that pretty much means the landlord is helping us fund a lot of different things. So the lease is about $7,500 over here.
Okay.
Mountain Bay Dental was about 6,000.
Thank you for sharing that. Is there anything else that you would want to share for people who are just starting their dental office? Any valuable insights? Anything that you would tell yourself before you started?
Yeah, get ready for things not to work.
Okay.
It's impossible to make this plan go perfectly. If it does, fantastic. 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 1 million, right? But you want to have the strongest team possible. I'm someone that struggles with asking people for help, and for this project, I think I have to ask everyone for help. from people that aren't in the dental industry, like my wife. I'd ask you for help for marketing, and then just advice and anything I could get from everyone else. So you want to have the strongest team possible. You cannot do this alone. If you think you can, I don't know what to say. I try to do everything on my own. It would not work. And it's just it's a hard thing to do because my full-time job is to be a dentist. Mm-hmm. We're trying to open a dental office. How many times have I done this before?
0.
Yeah. So if you've probably done it 20 times and you're not working full-time, it's doable. I know people like that. But their main job is being admin and being like a project manager.
And last question before we cut the cameras.
Yes, sir.
What do you appreciate about working with me and my team the most based on everything that we just discussed?
Yeah, I don't know where to begin. The fact that you guys go outside of just the scope of marketing. When you mentioned 360 degrees marketing, I was like, what is he talking about? I've just been used to cookie cutter marketing tactics. Like, hey, we're going to do this, overpromise, underdeliver. It's like been the exact opposite. Just the fact that you've interviewed someone for me to hire for the front desk is a big deal. This was not part of our contract. This was 5 months worth of work. You guys went above and beyond, and you always do. And very prompt, timely. Like if a deadline is next Friday, you're getting me the results tomorrow. Also, if I fall behind, you keep me accountable because I don't remember everything, right? Sometimes like, hey, can you add this credit card payment so we can run these advertisements for Instagram for Kanopi Kids? Yep. Can we do this for Mountain Bay Dental? What about this idea? What about that idea? This has worked for me before. I think it'd be a great addition, like ZocDoc. So just going above and beyond, I appreciate that because there's some people that like to work within the framework of their contract. Like, hey, I'm only going to do X, Y, Z. It's A through Z with you guys, and I appreciate that.
Thank you for saying that. Is there anything specific about my character and me specifically as the owner?
No, I love the fact that there's always a positive attitude and the fact that you always get the work done. I don't think you've ever mentioned like, hey, I can't get this done. It's not part of my contract. It's not part of the deal. You have to make those business decisions. I know I try my best to be empathetic as well on that. I don't want you to start doing things outside. I really need you to help me out with interviews. I was like,
that was more of an approval than a hiring.
Yeah, it's because it's gonna directly impact our job here, and I just hope that we could keep growing together. And the fact that you're very honest, integrity, hardworking, so many different qualities I could brag about, but you're like my right-hand man for a lot of these jobs, especially a very hard project that we did once before and a completely different hard project that we're embarking on right now.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anwar.
Of course.
I appreciate the kind words.
Thank you for coming and thank you for all your help.
Let's go big.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Thank you, sir.
Let's do it.
Let's drink it as well.